In this video, I'm talking about what it takes for you to change your life. But before I do, I want to let you know that you can grab your space in Vegan Goddess Power, which is a one-on-one 3-month experience designed for you to get help, advice, and support and guidance with your vegan lifestyle, your vegan eating, your mindset, and or your self-care as a woman. This is for you if you've been vegan for a long time, are new to it, or for just a little bit. It doesn't matter. It could help you get to where you are now, to where you desire to be. And you can live a healthy vegan lifestyle your way that you love. With my 15 years experience of living vegan, I know that I could help you on this path. If you are called to this, it is meant for you, and I will see you in there. You can get the details and you can grab your space through the link in the description. And if you have any questions, you can email me, jessica@veganbeautypower.com. So a lot of people want to change their life. Obviously, who doesn't? There are so many people that have goals that they want to reach, that have, dreams and things that they really see themselves doing. They know they have potential, but they feel stuck and they get frustrated. So the reason they feel stuck and that they get frustrated is because they keep giving up. Is because they keep giving up on themselves and they haven't developed the self-trust yet to get the momentum going. That's very encouraging and very empowering to keep on going. They haven't proved to their brain yet that they could actually do things. And everything I'm saying to myself as well. This comes from experience. I have always given up on things. The only two things I didn't give up on, are veganism and motherhood. So honestly, I would have been so much further in many things that I am doing right now if I didn't give up. So it's really just about how you show up for yourself, who you want to show up as, how you want to show up in the world, and who you really know you're meant to be, who you really are, who you really want to be, because it's all there. It's all there within you, and you have to look within to get there. A lot of times people give up because they're impatient and they just are in that needing, desperate mode, which communicates to the universe that you are in lack and will just bring you that same thing. Whatever you focus on, you attract into your life. So it's very important to focus on what you want. It is important to know what you don't want, but once you know what you don't want, you have to focus on what you really desire so that you could attract that into your life and become the person who lives that. You have to normalize it for yourself. No matter what it is that you want, need, by whatever time, whatever deadline, you are already that person that has that. You just haven't aligned with that energy and frequency yet. So once you do, once you normalize it and make your life that of which is the person who lives it, who already has all that, you will experience it in your real life. So it really just takes going within and asking yourself questions, because your brain will get to work to find an answer. And it's not really about making things happen. It's not really about trying to be someone. It's really about getting into the person you know you really are. You just haven't gotten there yet. You just haven't aligned with that person yet. So you have to ask yourself all of these things. Who is the person that has this? What does this person do every day that has this? It really just takes asking yourself questions and getting down to the root, and you can keep asking why so that you could really figure out what it really is. And it is everything that you do every day. That's a big part of it, because it's your lifestyle. When you change your life, you change your lifestyle. When you change your lifestyle, you change your life. It really is all about lifestyle. That's the center of everything. And your lifestyle is how you live, and the decisions that you make and the actions that you take every day. They all add up, small, big, whatever it is. So it really comes down to all the little things that you do every day, because they add up to being your lifestyle and to being big. And these things are the things that take you far without you even realizing it, because you're so dialed in, you're so focused. But when you look back and see your progress, you could see how far you've actually come. And you can see that you're actually living the life that you intended to live and know that you were meant for, because you became that person. So that's really what it is. What it takes for people to change their lives is that they become so fed up, so frustrated, and so done with how they're living now. And how they're living now is made up of the decisions that they've made and the actions that they have taken. I'm only talking about people that can control these things. I'm not talking about people who have circumstances and who are experiencing things that are outside of their control. So I'm talking about things that you can control. And if you are in a situation that you have gotten yourself into, you can get yourself out of it too. And it's going to take however long you think it's going to take. So that's why it's so important to get your mind in the state to be prepared and to normalize everything that you are going for. Be prepared to handle things, because if you expect something to happen and it doesn't, you might go back to where you were. And that's obviously never the intention. That's never the goal. That's never ideal. So instead of having expectations, have standards. You know this, whether you feel it yet, whether you see it yet or not. You have to know first before you experience it. It's not going to come until you know it. So when people get so frustrated, so fed up, and so done with feeling the way that they're feeling, with feeling stuck, whether they want to lose fat, whether they get sick often, whether they don't have the money that they know they're meant to have, whether they're stuck in the same location that they don't want to be in anymore, and they know that they have bigger things for themselves. They know that they have all these things they want to create and put out into the world. They want to have certain relationships in their lives. They want to have certain experiences in their lives, and they're not experiencing that right now in their life. They're so done with it. They're so fed up with that. They're so frustrated to the point where they literally can't take it anymore. And it is more painful to stay where they're at than it is to actually change things for themselves. So that's really what it takes. Getting to that point. Really being completely done. And sometimes people are literally forced to change their lives, because if they don't, things will happen to them. Whether it's mostly health when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, it could be other stuff too, but health is the most common example. But we're not talking about being forced. We're talking about feeling done. So when you feel done, when you feel frustrated, when you're so fed up, when you've had it up to there, beyond done, beyond sick and tired of not experiencing the life that you know you were meant for, that's when you'll start to take actions to change your life. And you can manifest, you can affirm, you know, you can meditate, you can do EFT tapping, visualization, breath work, scripting, all of these things, which are all very important, but you have to actually take actions along with those things as well. And that is really going to show your brain, that is really going to show your mind that you are going, that this is happening, that you are doing this. Your subconscious mind is very impressionable, especially when you're about to go to sleep and especially when you wake up. So those would be the best times to visualize, and visualize as intensely, as detailed, as vividly, and specifically as you possibly can. Really see yourself. And some people, you know, don't do this. And either way it goes, they work if you make it work, right? They work if you think they'll work. So some people prefer not to do this, and that's okay. It's not like you have to. It's just something to try and see, if you actually like it, if you think it's working for you. And then there is EFT tapping and breath work to regulate your nervous system so that you can handle different things now, because you're in your comfort zone and nothing is ever going to happen that you actually want when you're in your comfort zone. So when you realize that it's more miserable and more painful to stay in your comfort zone than it is to do changes in your life and to get outside of your comfort zone, that's when you'll start to change your life. And so you have to regulate your nervous system to communicate with it that you're okay, that you're not in danger, that this is you now. What you were before is not you anymore, and you're changing now. And this is new for you, and it's going to feel different. But doing those two things will help you to regulate your nervous system and make it normal for you. And you can find, breath work and EFT tapping all throughout YouTube. Like, I'm not an expert in all of these things, but this is just things that I am doing that I want to share, because I'm finally, after so many years, actually making changes to make, differences in my life that I want to experience and that I know I'm meant to experience, and becoming a different person now. So you can find out all of this stuff that I'm talking about if you just search and look it up, especially on YouTube, because it'll show you, and that's what I've done. There's a lot out there. It's all good. So you can find it. And, if you, it's not like you have to do this, obviously, choose a few affirmations for yourself, 1 to 3, and just keep repeating them, because the subconscious mind, it takes repetition to really get in there, and it's not going to feel true to you. Your brain is probably gonna be like, what the fuck? That's not true. That's a lie. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's literally a battle between you and your mind. And it's very hard to explain how it actually feels. So you are like in a battle with yourself. It's just you against you at all times, all the time. So you really have to make sure that you're thinking thoughts that you want to experience, that support how you want to feel, that you want to attract in your life. So anytime your brain is like, nope, you say, yes, this is who we are now. This is not what we're doing. This is not going to be true. I reject this. And keep moving on. Keep moving forward. Keep going. You can keep affirming. You can keep visualizing. You can keep meditating. You can keep doing breath work. I don't write in a journal or anything like that. I don't like the clutter. But you can do that. That's scripting. So for some people, visualization works better, and for some people, scripting works better. For me, I do visualization. I'm a very visual person, and so I don't like all the clutter with writing, because if you do write, it's better to do it by hand instead of typing. So that would be the option for that. And, it's not like you have to do this. I'm just saying you can put it in whatever tense you want to put it in. I used to get caught up on that and be like, well, I don't know if it's supposed to be present tense or past tense. It really doesn't fucking matter, because you're the one that makes the rules. No, the universe is just doing what you're saying, right? The universe is just listening to you, and you have to talk to it and communicate with it. It's communicating with you too. So don't confuse yourself. Don't make it complicated for yourself, because when you do, you're going to be all over the damn place. You're not going to be consistent, and you're going to confuse the universe too, right? You don't want to complicate it. So keep it simple. Do what works for you. Do what feels right to you and what feels natural to you. So these things feel natural to me. Writing does not. And I don't like to write anyways, unless that's fiction, literally. When I do the Vegan Beauty Power Goddess Love Letters, which is the newsletter publication, I dictate. I talk into the Notes app. It types it out for me. I edit it and fix any errors and mistakes, and I send it out. I don't write unless it's fiction. I just don't. When I write the Vegan Beauty Power Lifestyle book, I'm going to dictate that too, and that's going to take a while, but I will. Blog posts, I dictate, which I haven't updated yet, but is coming. So anything nonfiction, I dictate. Anything with always reading novels and watching movies, which is the other thing that I have that talks about books and movies. The Bear Candor, which is another newsletter publication that I have through Substack, which talks about art, passion, and life. I dictate that. So if you don't like something, don't fucking do it, because it's not going to work for you. Writing in the journal, I tried it many times. It was just a complete waste to me. So I threw it all away. I don't like the clutter. I don't like physical clutter. I like spaciousness, right? I like space. So that's why I prefer ebooks instead of physical books, because I just don't like things to sit there and collect dust. I just don't like things to take up space in the physical. Digital clutter is a real thing too. So I'm making room for all of that too. But the point is, you have to do what feels right to you. You have to do what feels natural to you, because if it doesn't, you're not going to keep going with it, and it's not going to work, because you have to keep this repetition going, because that's what your subconscious mind responds to, right? Whatever you keep repeating is going to be true for you, because that's what you think, that's what you believe. You have to keep on persisting. It doesn't matter what you see in your life. It doesn't matter what your brain is telling you. You have to replace what your brain is telling you with what you decide now. So it's all a decision. It comes down to a decision. Everything that you have in your life now, you've manifested it, unless it's something that's outside of your circumstances, because that is true for some people as well, obviously. But anything that you can control that is a circumstance of yours, like a situation you put yourself in, that's because of you, right? That is something that you've manifested. So you're manifesting 24/7, whether you realize it or not. So when you become self-aware, when you become conscious of this, you can do so much more, and you really will realize how much power you actually truly have. So this all comes down to making a decision. So what are you going to decide? Who is the person you're going to be? Method acting is amazing as well. I've seen so many people on TikTok and YouTube with helpful information about all of this, and you can find them throughout, really. And there's probably podcast episodes as well, and a lot of books. So you have books, you have podcast episodes, you have YouTube videos, you have TikTok videos. All of these are very important. It can help you so much. So if you like to read, find something on Substack, or find a blog, or find a book. If you like to listen to something, find a podcast episode. If you love videos, go to TikTok or YouTube. Literally, there's everything there. There's no reason not to, change your life nowadays with all the things you can learn and all the things you can actually implement and apply. But don't get stuck in the consuming either, because I've done that as well, where I watched so many things, read so many things, all of these things, and I didn't take action. And what do you think happened? Nothing, right? Nothing. And I wasn't even doing these different things at the time anyways. But when you pair actions with visualization, with breath work, with EFT tapping, with method acting, with persisting, with affirming, all these things, meditating and all of this, right? Things start to shift, things start to move, things start to happen. And that's you becoming the person who lives this life. That's you becoming the person who can handle this. That's why you need to prepare your nervous system. It really does help. And there's other ways to do this, not just breathwork and EFT tapping. I'm just saying what I like, what I do, what comes natural to me, what feels right to me, and what works for me and what I prefer. So if you don't like anything that I'm saying, if you don't want to do anything that I'm saying, you don't have to. There's other things for you. And I'm not talking about the other things because, that's not for me. So I can't speak to that. Like I said, I don't write unless it's fiction, and then I dictate. So I don't do the journaling and the scripting. I don't like that clutter, and I don't like how it feels, and I don't like it. So I don't, but there are people that do, and that may be what works for you. So you could do that. Really though, it's just about exploring, right? It's about, like I always say, give yourself the room, give yourself the space to explore and to find out what it is for you that's actually going to make you take action. So what is going to make you take action is feeling the way you're feeling now. That's getting fed up. That's feeling beyond stuck. And that is being completely frustrated with what your life has become, with how you have moved throughout your life, how you're feeling. What you're experiencing in your life now is not what you desire and what you know you're not meant for, right? So feeling that is going to move you to start to do all of these things that actually lead to changes in your life. And like I said, it's things that you do every day that add up. So you have to ask yourself, what does this person do every day? And you become that person. Like, method acting is a real thing. Look up what it is, find out literally what it is, and get into it, because you are literally becoming a different person, right? You're shifting your identity, and you're talking to yourself, and you're changing you're changing yourself, right? You're changing your personality, you're changing your identity. You're becoming a different person. And it really helps to talk to yourself as well. So your self-concept, your self-identity, that's all. That's all. A lot of times people don't move forward because of that. They need to work on that more. And so when your self-concept is indestructible, right? the way that you think of yourself, the way that you see yourself, your self-confidence and all of that, when that is indestructible, things will happen faster for you. So that is the first place for you to go, which is, like I said, going in your mind, going within, rejecting anything that you don't want to experience, rejecting anything that you don't want to see, and literally becoming that person who knows how to handle it, who is prepared, who normalizes it. It's normal for them, right? It's whatever you desire, it's normal for that person that you are becoming. And you would not have those desires if you were not meant to have them. The universe put them in you, or whatever you believe in, whatever divine you believe in, for a fucking reason. I don't practice any religion, but the three that make sense to me that I'm learning about are Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism. I do talk to Allah sometimes, right? I do have the Quran, and then I am looking into Buddhism and Hinduism, but it's not that I practice any certain religion. I was Catholic growing up, and I completely rejected Christianity because it didn't resonate with me. I don't agree with most of, no. So whatever divine you believe in, you could talk to whatever divine you believe in, but I talk to the universe. So I refer to it as the universe. Either way it goes. Let the universe know exactly what it is that you desire, and try to use the word desire instead of want, because want connotates lack. And you don't want to attract more of that. And you don't want to come from a state of desperation and a state of need. So once you know exactly what it is that you desire, communicate that with the universe and be as specific as you can, as well as in your visualizations, be as specific as you can. Really get there and really get into that place, really get into that space, into that state where you see yourself, really doing that. Keep asking yourself questions. What does this person do every day? How does this person show up? How does this person talk to themselves? How does this person carry themselves? How does this person treat other people? And all of these different things. What does this person actually do, right? And what kind of experiences does this person have in their life? That will get clarity for you to know exactly what to do and to know where you're going. And it's going to take however long you think it's going to take. That's really up to you. So you make that decision, right? And when you have negative thoughts, you reject them. And you're like, no. You reroute them, right? Make a U-turn. Replace that with thoughts that actually support you and that actually, help you. Because the more you get into this, the more you get into this state, the more you become the person who you are meant to be, and experiencing the experiences that you want, that you desire to experience, and living the lifestyle that you're meant for, the faster it will happen. And instead of focusing so much on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. And once you know and you're clear about what it is that you desire, and you communicate with that to the universe or the divine, and once you know you're very clear about that, and you focus and think about things that you desire and where you're going, then you just move on and live your life as if you are that person, because you're becoming that person. That's how you get there. You align with that by living your life as if you're already there. So just live your life, move on, do the things that that person does. That's why you ask yourself questions, because that will give you the answers of what you're what you do, right? What you do every day. And so keep doing that. Just keep doing that. And eventually, most likely quickly, I'm going through this right now, so I could speak to this, and it's fresh in my mind. That's why I wanted to share, because I know that so many people are so clueless, and I'm new to this, believe me. I'm not an expert in manifestation or any of these things. I'm an expert in living a vegan lifestyle. I'm an expert in vegan eating, right? Continuing to work on all of this. So I talk about mindset. Vegan Beauty Power talks about mindset. It's not just about veganism. It's not just about vegan eating, vegan beauty, vegan lifestyle. It's also mindset. It's also self-care, because that's all a part of the lifestyle that we live as women. To live a healthy vegan lifestyle, we live our way, right? You live your life your way. There are no rules. You make the rules. You're your own creator of your life. So what you're living right now, you can make changes to support how you want to feel. And that's what you ask yourself. And what I'm doing right now supporting how I want to feel? Is what I'm doing right now what the person I'm becoming would do? Is what I'm doing right now what the person I'm becoming does? Keep asking yourself that to stay on track, because believe me, I've gone backwards. I've gotten stuck in that place where it's a battle with your mind, those negative thoughts. And that's just the old you. That's just the old you. That's all. The old you doesn't want to let go. but you're letting go and you're changing and you're becoming a different person. So that's why method acting is really fascinating and cool to look into, because you can literally practice that. And you don't have to, do things that you don't think you need to do. It's just what is natural to you, because it's becoming normalized. You're normalizing it. It is normal for the person you're becoming to experience the things that you desire to have, to experience the life that you are living. It's changing. Everything's changing. So what you see, don't worry, it's changing. Keep projecting what you don't want and know that, and tell yourself that it's changing. Stick to your affirmations and keep affirming. Keep affirming. You can spend 10 minutes throughout each day in increments, repeating your affirmations. You can do that if you want. Method acting gets you into the person that you're becoming. So you do ask yourself questions to get clear about that, because once you have clarity, then you can really make motion with this, and momentum starts to happen, and then you really prove to your brain, I could do this. We're not that person anymore. We are safe. We are okay. Keep regulating your nervous system to know that you're safe, you're okay. And because it literally doesn't know the damn difference. Your brain and your mindset and your subconscious mind, all these, they don't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference. So that is good news for you, because you can really make it be what you want it to be, right? You can literally have the experiences that you desire to have. You can literally live the lifestyle that you desire to live. Once you ask yourself questions and get clarity, once you know who you're becoming, and once you know exactly what it is that you desire to have, and you're very clear about that, and you make that decision, and you keep projecting what you don't want, you keep focusing on what you do want, and you keep moving forward. You keep living your life as if, right? Because that gets you into the mindset and into the state of actually becoming the person that is your higher self. That is you experiencing what you desire to experience now, because it's already happened. You just haven't experienced it yet, right? So this is changing for you once you decide, and you are changing, you are becoming, and your lifestyle is becoming what you want it to be. So think about the things that you do every day, and that is where you can start and really get into your mind, really go within. A lot of people are scared to do this because they're constantly on the go and always busy and don't take time to spend with themselves. They don't know themselves well. They don't actually know what the fuck they desire. So you can give that gift to yourself of getting clear about what it is that you desire, getting clear about what it is that you need to do. And you can do all of these things. You can utilize all of these tools like breath work, EFT tapping, meditating, visualization. You could do scripting if you want, but that's a no for me. Keep doing affirmations, keep affirming, keep utilizing method acting. Like, all of these are tools, right? All of these are techniques, as they say. And there really is no wrong or right. They all work if you think they work for you. And that's all there is to it. So you make that decision for yourself. You make the rules. You're the creator of your own life, and you can make it be whatever the fuck you desire it to be. So you don't have to do everything at once, because it can be overwhelming, and your nervous system really doesn't know how to handle that and isn't ready for that. So normalize everything for yourself. Communicate to yourself and to the universe what it is that you desire, what it is that you're doing, and that you're okay and that you're safe. And so you have these standards, and you know that it's happening, and you keep persisting. You also talk to yourself, and you can do self-talk rampages, which I love to do. I record voice notes talking to myself of things that I'm doing, right? That I desire to do. Like, I talk about filmmaking, and I talk about acting, because those are things I'm doing. I talk about having a smoothie subscription service, because that's something I'm working on. I talk about playing the piano, performing, and composing. I talk about Vegan Beauty Power, the community we've grown, and the things we're doing with it. And I talk about always reading novels and watching movies as well, the things I'm doing with that, and the community I've grown through there. And my art, people are buying it. My paintings, my drawings. I'm also creating other types of art with things, my poetry as well, my fiction writing. I'm doing all of these things and sharing it with the world. And I talk to myself and tell myself those types of things, like what I'm doing. You could say, like, I'm doing this today, or I've done this. You can do it in past tense, present tense, doesn't fucking matter. And you could also, talk about the money you're making, how you look, right? How you feel if you're with someone, the type of relationships you have in your life, the type of experiences that you have in your life, where you're at, like what you actually do for fun, what you actually do and want to share and create. Like, you talk about all of these things. You record it on voice note, listen to it, talk to yourself, and really get your self-concept, your best it could be. And you could use the Parrot app, which is like the parrot bird, to record subliminals or affirmations, and you can repeat it on a loop to yourself. It really helps your brain and subconscious mind to hear your own voice. Of course, there are, those on YouTube, like, that you could sleep to if you want, subliminals, affirmations and things, but you can record your own as well. So you can always do that too. That's an option there. So I like to do that too. I like to record voice notes of myself telling someone I love something that I just did, something that I just experienced, something that just happened, something that I just created before I've actually seen it happen, before I've actually experienced it and it's actually happened in my life. And I like to do that. So like you're talking to someone you love, whether it's on the phone or in a voice note that you're sending it to them, and tell them what you've done, tell them what you've experienced, what is happening now, what is going on. And that is so much fun. So you can do that too, but make sure that you have your self-concept the way it needs to be, because that's the person you're becoming. And this is all it takes. Keep asking yourself questions, know exactly what you want, make that decision, communicate to the universe, to the divine, communicate to yourself. You could record voice notes to yourself. You could record on the Parrot app. You could write it out. You could do breath work, visualization, affirmations, keep persisting, keep knowing. You also have that delusion. I'm a Pisces. So all of this is pretty natural for me, to be honest. I'm very fucking delusional, right? I just know that, but you have to feel it, right? You have to know it. It's happening. Believe. There's no other way. There's no other fucking option. There is no plan B. This is it. It's happening. These are my standards. This is happening. That's method acting. You're being that person. You're acting as that person because that is you. And you reject anything you don't want. You reject anything that isn't aligned with anything you don't desire to experience or have in your life. You are unavailable for anything that doesn't align with what you desire to experience. Period. That's it. And you move on about your fucking daily life, right? You move on living as that person. It's already done. It has already happened. You've already communicated it to the universe. It is done. It is coming. It is changing. And you're making it happen, right? This is it. You don't have to try. You don't have to put effort, because this is something that's supposed to flow. This is something that's supposed to become natural for you. This is something that you're normalizing. So if this feels hard to you, if this feels like an effort, if this feels like you're failing or trying, you need to shift that, right? You need to change that, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it's supposed to feel. So figure out what tools or techniques you want to use, if you want to use any, that align with feeling natural to you. That's ease. That's just, you feel ease, you feel flow. This is easy for you. This is natural for you. This is how you live your life, like veganism, right? I've lived this lifestyle for 15 years now. It's natural to me. I don't have to think about it. It's second nature to me. It's how I live my life. I could come up with a meal in a matter of seconds. That's balanced, that hits the protein that I want. I don't have to track my stuff. I know intuitively because I've practiced it, right? So it takes consistency and it takes practice. And that's all this is repeating, affirming, persisting. So just think about something that you know so well in your life, that you're a master at, that you're an expert in, that you're really good at. How did you get there? How did you get good at that? It has taken a few years probably for you practicing that to becoming a master at it, to becoming an expert at it, to become it feeling natural and second nature and normalizing it. So that's what it takes. It takes repetition. It takes consistency. It takes practice, but it doesn't have to take long. I used to think it would take long, and it just was so discouraging to me, and I kept procrastinating and I kept putting it off because I didn't see results. That's number one. I was impatient. And I believed that it would take too long. So that was discouraging for me. So that's number two. And number three was I just couldn't get in the state, or I wasn't in the state of believing in my mind deep down. I didn't know that the tools that I know now on how to shift that and how to change that into believing, right? Into getting into that. And I just kept giving up. I just kept giving up on myself because my brain was like, this isn't happening. So your brain is going to tell you straight up, based on what your past is, based on what you've done and what your brain has experienced and known, it's going to tell you, well, that's not going to happen because it's never happened for you before in your life. You haven't experienced it before. So you have to tell your brain, nope, that was the old me. This is the new me. This is what we're doing now. We're not going back there. We're changing. This is it now. This is what it is now. And you just keep doing. You just keep doing. You keep practicing. You keep persisting. You keep going, right? And that's where a lot of us fuck up, is because we give up and we don't have our self-concept the way it needs to be for ourselves. And that's another thing. That's another problem I had. So my self-concept was out of whack. I kept procrastinating. I kept giving up. I was impatient. And that's why, and that just made it take longer for me, right? If I keep feeling desperate and I keep being in the wanting, of course it's gonna be in a lack state. It's gonna be in a lack mindset, which I'm gonna attract more of into my life. And that's the opposite of what we want. That's the opposite of what any of us want. So focus on what you actually truly desire and what you know you're meant for, right? You know you have potential. You observe all these people and you're like, I don't want to live like that. That's not me. That's not going to be it for me. You make that decision, you feel fed up, you feel beyond sick and tired of how you're living your life now, right? Of how you feel now. And when I say how you feel, I don't mean like sick. I mean, maybe, but it's just like, oh, you don't have the experiences that you want to have. Things feel hard to you. Things aren't fun for you. And it just doesn't feel like it's supposed to feel. So that's when you know, okay, you're fed up. And that's sometimes what it takes. Most of the time that is what it takes. Definitely what it took for me. And so I was completely fed up, and I'm in the void right now. And so I'm learning about all of this, and I'm experiencing this, and it's a constant battle with your mind. That is the part that you really have to dial in on. That is the part that you really have to persist with, because it's going to keep coming at you, and you just have to let it know what's up. So you are the person that is in control of that. So make sure that you do all of these things that I talk about, because that is what's going to get you to change your life. And people talk about habits and people talk about actions. Well, yeah, that's what this is. That's what you do every day. That's your lifestyle. What you do, how you live your life, that's your lifestyle. And changing your lifestyle is changing your life. So yes, it comes down to that. But before you know exactly what you're supposed to do to get to where you desire to be and becoming the person you're becoming, you have to have your self-concept indestructible. You have to pay very close attention to what you say about yourself, to yourself and to others. And you have to get very clear about what it is that you actually desire. And you have to ask yourself questions. And then you can start to actually do the things and take the actions that you need to take every day, which are small and they all add up to getting to the person that you are, to experiencing the lifestyle that you want to live and know that you're meant for. And you could use these tools, you could use these techniques to get you there, right? All of these things. There's so many things. I don't even remember all of them, but you could definitely look them up. They're all there. They're all out there. There's so many videos about all the different techniques of manifestation. Regardless, you're manifesting, whether you mean to or not, it's happening. So now that you're aware, which is it's a gift. It's a gift to be aware, because once you're aware, you know that you have the power to change things. Once you know that everything you see is because of things that you've done and things that you've manifested, you can change that. So that's where this starts. That's where this starts. And no, it starts. And no, it doesn't have to take feeling frustrated and fed up and like done with everything to change. But a lot of times it does. And that's why I'm sharing that, because it did for me. So if that can maybe resonate with you, right? And do all of these things, right? And keep going, keep going, keep going. It doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to take long. When I heard people say that it doesn't have to take long, it really lifted a weight off of me, right? I was like, okay, yeah, fuck this shit. It doesn't have to take long. And so it doesn't. So you make it be what you want it to be. And you're becoming that person. You're changing. It is happening. If you want more, you can get into Vegan Goddess Power to go deeper in a one-on-one 3-month experience that can help you with your vegan lifestyle, your vegan eating, your mindset, and or your self-care as a woman. With my guidance, support, and help, you can get to where you are now, to where you desire to be. Because I've been vegan for 15 years. So if I can help anybody with anything, it's living the vegan lifestyle, vegan eating, And a mindset, self-care is a part of that as well. I can help you on this path, no matter if you've been vegan for many years, no matter if you're new to it or have just been in it for a little bit. Like I said earlier in the video, it doesn't matter. It's for you to live a healthy vegan lifestyle your way that you love as a woman. You can find the details and you can get in through the link in the description. And if you have any questions about Vegan Goddess Power, you can email me, jessica@veganbeautypower.com. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.